Greetings and welcome to Inequality and Diversity Education, Module 1, Lecture 1 on Theodore W. Allen's seminal work, Class, Struggle, and the Origin of Racial Slavery, The Invention of the White Race, Volume 1. I am Jolivet Williams, your lecturer and guide for the next 8 weeks, and I'm honored to be a part of your educational journey. So let's get started. Who is Theodore Allen? Well, this information is a part of the introductory section of your textbook, and I'd like for you to take some time to read the introduction written by Dr. Jeffrey Perry. He was a friend to Allen, and he's also the scholar who's giving the lecture in our required class resources. You'll have an opportunity to hear him speak on Allen, but the written work is excellent if you have the opportunity to indulge this week. I would suggest that you do so. So Theodore W. Allen was an independent working class scholar who focused his research and writings dealing with labor, class, and race. Allen grew up during the Great Depression. Much like Paulo Freire, his family was middle class, but the economic crisis caused them to fall from middle class and became a part of the proletariat. Uh, his social condition and work experiences directed his attention toward matters of workers' rights and class, and he soon realized that class was the driving factor in social organization, racial oppression, and labor relations. He spent his adult life educating and organizing people to effectively subvert the ruling class's malevolent control formations of white supremacy and privilege. So, what then is Theodore W. Allen's contribution to sociology? Well, Allen's contributions to sociology demystified the history and function of race based social organization and oppression in the Anglo American colonies. Allen spent 20 years researching American class hierarchy from primary source materials for his publications. Allen's political and economic research experience and labor union organizing gave him expertise in resisting labor exploitations from corporations and government agencies. His magnum opus is a two-volume literary work that exposes the British ruling class's process of establishing a social control formation to stabilize their domination. The new control formation, racism, made colonization and oppression much easier to maintain. So, how then does Allen's politics influence the literary and labor relations activities? Well, early in Allen's adulthood, he realized the ruling class controlled the mainstream political origins of American society. And Allen's writings do not suggest any ideological affiliation with any mainstream or state approved political apparatus. But Allen's divergence from mainstream political thought provides a fresh perspective to critically analyze the conditions and consequences of following the political status quo. Among Allen's papers at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst are some tract publications by the Communist Party of Marion County, West Virginia. Allen's focus on the workers' rights and subsequent subversion by the plantation or corporate bourgeoisie is not considered mainstream American partisan politics. So then we begs the question, how far has Allen advanced the research on white supremacist ideology? Well, we're finally going to speak to the ideological advances that Allen's research has had and collectively contributes to the body of research concerning diverse communities. Allen's research has delved into the primary resources of Virginia counties and other state county records dating back to the earliest available records. His expose on the machinations by the planter class to subvert the socio-political and economic interests of the European American worker with race privileges has been well preserved in his two-volume tour de force, Invention of the White Race. Today's popular Discourses on American race privilege, racism, and oppression can be credited to great scholars of the 20th century that laid the foundation, such as Theodore W. Allen. So I hope that this works as a brief introduction to what we are going to look forward to in the rest of this module and the class. I want to thank you again for taking the time to share with me in this introductory lecture, and I cannot wait to read about your interpretations, read your input, and your valuable contributions to this course. See you on the discussion boards.